successful sprint race and a deadly feature race. Really, in real life, I'd have been instant death in that one. But we are here today at Spielberg, the 1974 layout with the really fast first corner without the chicane, and it's been extremely good. Hoping for 2 smooth races today. However, the AI is racing really, really well. It's very, very tight. So before we get any further, let's have a quick run through the current championship standings. So we are somehow currently leading with 20 points by virtue of our 2 race wins. We've got Fittipaldi in second with Hans-Joachim Stuck in third. Juan Maria Traverso had an absolutely blinding Spa and leaped up to 4th. Derek Bell in 5th. Walter Roll in 6th. Barry Sheen in 7th. Graham Hill 8th. Henri Pescarolo in 9th. Jackie Stewart in 10th. Mario Andretti in 11th. Jackie Ickx in 12th. Denny Holm in 13th. And Peter Brock got off the board in Spa and he's in 14th. Non-scorers so far, and Juan Maria Traverso, I would say. They seem to be the ones that are chasing us the hardest. So, I've made a couple of changes for this event, nothing major. So I've kept the little radar HUD on the screen, but I have put it up in the mirror section, so it doesn't get in my vision. But I thought it was handy for you guys because you don't see the width of the screen that I've got. I've got a super wide, or is it an ultra wide? A really wide one, so and I can see a lot more than you can, and you only see a little bit of the mirror. So I thought, well, that might be a nice compromise, is give you that in the mirror. So I've moved it up to the mirror area. I have kept the aggression for the AI on low because it seemed to race nicer. It seemed to race more realistically to me. So when it was set to medium or higher, they were making sort of moves that you wouldn't necessarily expect a professional driver to make. They were sort of more reactive almost moves, whereas when it's set to low, it felt like it was more planned and set up. I don't think it is, but it's how it feels, it's how it looks. But it comes with the added bonus of the whole race flows nicer. There's not as much like go slows as they trip each other up. Everything just seems to operate a lot more smoothly and nicely, and I really like that way of racing. It might not be the most random or exciting, but to me this is about trying to sink myself into it and trying to immerse myself into this race, and it did that really, really nicely. So yeah, so the test races I've done have been really, really good, and I want to really present how good they've been. I don't feel I've done that in the first 2 races very well. I feel like I can do a better job of that, and I'm hoping that today is going to go a lot more smoothly and I can actually demonstrate just how good this racing has been. So I'm hoping I don't mess it up too much today. So let's get into setting up the sprint race, shall we? So race settings will be 25 minutes for the sprint. The current date, which is obviously the 29th to the 6th. Yeah, check. Starting at 11 o'clock in the morning, real time, real weather, a rolling start. No formation lap. Yeah, you can refuel, but we won't need to because it's a sprint race, and a default progressing circuit. We've got identical cars because it's the race. It's the IROC Championship. We've got 17 other drivers, 112 skill level. Now that might be a bit on the high side. It's not the most comfortable, but it's where it's the most equal to me. If I was being a bit cheeky, I'd probably knock it down to 110, maybe 111, just to give myself a bit more breathing room. But this feels like it's where it needs to be. So a 1.2 wet skill scaler, a bit up in the air with that. So in transitional conditions, the AI is super quick, but in full wet conditions, they're nowhere.com. So if we get any rain, especially if we have a race that starts dry and ends wet, then we might see ourselves dropping back. But if it starts fully wet we might just be in the pound seat. So we'll have to see how it goes. We've got the low aggression, as I just mentioned, standard mistakes, and a random grid slot. And again, everyone in the AI file has got exactly the same qualifying skill. So when it says random, it is truly random for everybody. So let's get into it. I should also add as well, really, that the reason I've got it on the current date is so that I can't practice it. I don't want to. I want this to be the first time I see this race. So it's important that it's current date and real weather, so that I don't have time to practice. So I am a bit of a practice fiend, but if I get the time to do it, I will. Oh, look at that, starting on pole. Oh, what a winner. Awesome. So we've got us on pole. Oh, touch. Danny Holm, Emerson Fittipaldi, Alan Moffat, Peter Brock, Mario Andretti, Juan Maria Traverso, Jackie Stewart, Hans-Joachim Stuck, Richard Petty, Andre Pasquarello, Mark Donoghue. He's got the brown end of the stick again, hasn't he? Barry Sheen, Walter Roll, Graham Hill, AJ Foyt again. Yeah, Jackie Hicks and Derek Bell. Okay, right. So we have an opportunity here. However, again, test races have shown that it's not necessarily a done deal. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So let's get rid of that one. Just so again, the base setup as per normal, and we need 29 litres. Let's make that 30. Go up a little bit, give us a bit of breathing room, and that'll be it. No more changes to be made. So there are, actually, that's not quite true, actually. So I have made a small change. So I've increased my tyre pressures just a little bit. But instead of had that ability to do that in the real series anyway, nothing else has changed. The gearing has gone back to standard default settings after Spa. Spa required slightly different gearing. We've gone back to the default gearing now, and it seems to be a match for the AI. There are times when you seem to get a run on them, and you feel like you've got an advantage, and then there are times where they then get a run on you on the next lap or whatever. So I think it is pretty even. Right, okay, so there's that, and just in case it's looking to rain, so it's starting moist, so let's just in case, let's get the wet pit strategy sorted just in case. So we've got base slicks with our 30 litres of fuel, which is why it's got an asterisk next to it. We've got a wet pit strategy ready to go. Right, I don't want to rush this, so let's take a quick swig. Oh dear, I'm nervous. Starting pole as well. Didn't expect that. Right. Okay. Yeah, this is far from a done deal. We have lots of work to do, and yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong, and a lot of the time the racing can be sort of one step forwards, two steps back sometimes. And a move that you think is a done deal ends up costing you one or two places, and you get shuffled back as well. You get hung out to dry and shuffled back. The racing has been fantastic. Anyway, right, let's try and show you this racing rather than banging on about it. So, clear, moist, base slicks, 30 litres, wets. Right, let's go do it. Get that in the right place. Right, Danny, let's have a nice clean start, shall we? See the dampness on the road. So we've got rain forecast in 120 minutes, so we should be fine. Still feel the butterflies in my tummy. Right, we don't want to. I don't want to be balls out on this lap because I'm the first on the road. We've got Moffat on our left. Okay, he's backed out of that. Wise. We really struggle on the first. Again, the first lap we really struggle. Cheers, Moff. Thank you. Well, that damn patch area is pretty big, isn't it? And they're really good out of the last corner as well. Oh. Don't need to be doing that. Right, calm down, Andrew. And I don't want this to be a win it or bin it either, so if we have to settle for points, that's what we'll do. We might not get that choice either, looking at this. So this is the corner here that Mark Donoghue had his crash that ultimately killed him. And after his crash, they put the chicane in, which is what you have in the 1977 layout. Mark gave me a bit of a push there. Yeah, so he had his crash. Got out of the wreckage, started to walk back to the pits and said he didn't feel right, and 2 days later he passed away, bleed on the brain, I believe. Big loss that was. Come on. I think we're going to have trouble here with these guys because they are quicker than us at the moment. I think at some point they'll probably get a bit impatient and we might have to do a little bit of body work. Stop. Times on for you, just so you can track where people are. Oh, look at Emerson though. That drive they get out of that corner. Right. Come on. And I struggled to hold this, I think. Need to make sure I give him plenty of room on the outside. Nicely done, really nicely done. So as you can see what I mean about, I could have made it 100 and, about 110, 111 and it would have been sensible. This is really borderline too quick, really. on, you two. Play nicely. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Nice. That was nice. The rear just started to move then. He's still there. Just haven't got the front end. I think it's because it's a moist circuit, and I can only presume that it's just not quite got the front end bite that it had before. I cannot make their line work for me either around there. See, they kick our backsides through the last corner, but then we get a lot of it back through that first corner, so, and then the rest of the lap is very, very balanced. Well, I don't think so, Alan. Oh, come on, Emerson. I don't think so. It's a bit harsh. Pick a line. Come on. Really keep that tight there. Same here as well. If you run it wide, you sort of end up just drifting wider and wider. Well, he proper backed out of that, didn't he? I gave him plenty of room on the inside, and he actually completely dropped back behind. There's now Brocky behind us. Red car and white stickers is Peter Brock. Doesn't take much of a mistake at all. I just literally ran it just a little bit wider than I'd like, and he got it turned and up the inside again. Emerson around the outside. Come on, come on. Had to get out the throttle then. We're going to be vulnerable to Emerson and Peter Brock now. I'll take that. Haven't got the front end I'd like on it. Not quite as sharp in the mid corner as I'd like it to be, or need it to be, really. The car sort of feels like it's already done sort of, like 15 laps. Just that sort of, not vague, but it just hasn't quite got that. It's lost its edges. That's how it feels. So we've got Fittipaldi and we've got Traverso right behind us. Two of the people that are closest to us in the championship. Want to make sure I give Brocky space because he's right, cool. That was a bit rude of me, that, really. We'll avoid doing that again, that wasn't very nice. And Stuck now joining the party. Ooh. And as quickly as that, you go from first to third. I didn't want to assume I could get in there. I didn't want to cut him off like I did Brocky the previous lap. So frustrating. Did I get a tap there? I don't think I did I? I think that was all me, I think. Oh, yet another race. It's so frustrating. I don't think I got a tap. I think that was all me. I don't think I've got a tap anyway. Doesn't look like it, does it? Frustrating. How very frustrating. But that's the risk, I suppose. It was always on the edge. Right from the start, the front end was never where I wanted it to be. I was having to take liberties on the brakes to try and get the front end weighted. And we were always the cork in the bottle as well. And then we've got Emerson running right at the front as well. And once again, I've not demonstrated how good the racing is. Keep letting you guys down. It almost went there again. It's almost gone there again as well. And it's on me really, because I'm clearly pushing too hard, trying to make up a difference when, do I really need to though? Don't know if I really need to or not. Sprint pole rigged, yeah, cheers Mark. Well, if it was rigged, I didn't make the most of it, did I? Hi Pete, you alright mate? Yeah, just so frustrating. have to hope for a better feature race, I guess. Because unless someone else has a problem, we're finishing last here, so not for the first time. But then I suppose that's the benefit of having the point system that we've got. We've still got Fittipaldi in the lead, Moffat in second, Traverso in third. They're both scoring really well. But see, I think even if I'd have taken the attitude of, I'll settle for third, fourth, fifth, whatever, there was no guarantee that that was going to happen. Not really. It's so close. And you get shuffled back. It's not far off a touring car race. And everybody's so tight in the AI file as well. There are no stragglers. So if you get shuffled back, when you start to get shuffled back, you can't really stop it. You have to wait until the next corner and just hope that there's a place you can slot in. Not sure what that yellow flag is for. You can see as well that even the gap to Foyt is hovering around the same. You know, it's not really changing. The whole field is just so tightly packed, as you'd expect. You can see why they changed that first corner, can't you? It's fine as long as everything's going well, but you get a car problem or something and nasty. Doesn't really bear thinking about. So this will be the last lap anyway, so at least you haven't got to suffer this for too much longer. I'd just like to have a video where the timeline doesn't say disaster or instant death, really. That would be nice. Well, with the best will in the world, I think even points there would have been difficult because we were the cork in the bottle, so I don't think we'd have won that regardless. So I think the most we've dropped is 3 points. the biggest hit is on my credibility, I would say. Right, okay. Excuse me. Right, so let's skip that. Right, let's get a picture of that. Get the points. So, oh, look at that. That's a right old result, that is, because Emerson finished 4th. One where Traverso finished 3rd. Oh, had a bit of a lucky break there, haven't we? Right, let's get these off. And let's get that saved. Not quite sure what's going on with the replay there. It's a bit strange, isn't it? Right. Okay. Let's. I'll fill in the deets now. I'll leave you with that. Whilst I get on with this. Right. So, Alan Moffat. Well done, Alan. Well played. And Stuck. 6 points. Red Emerson Philip Holding. 3 points. Mark Donohue's off the board. And what a circuit to do it on, the circuit that he essentially lost his life at. How very, very sad that was too. And 1 point. Okay. So that. Ooh, it's all got a little bit tight. Right. Okay. I was only playing half speed. So it's isn't it? Right. Okay. So the point scores are tied at the top now. So the point system is working. I mean, although I'm disappointed, the point system is working well, isn't it? You get punished, but you get rewarded at the same time. And you just because you get punished doesn't mean to say you're out of it. So, myself and Emerson, ahead of Handstuck. It's getting quite punched up there, isn't it? Honoraria Traverso is 4th, but 14. There's only 6 points down now. Alan Moffat's up to 10. Derek Bell stays at 9, Walter Roll and Andretti, and Mark Donohue is now on the board, and the only two that have not yet scored is now AJ Foyt and Richard Petty. Right. Let's hope for a better feature race. Hopefully a more relaxed pace, and hopefully a car that has a better front end. That's the first time I've had that vague front end, which is disappointing. I can only presume it was because it had a moist circuit condition. That's what I'm hoping anyway. I mean, I don't know really what I could do about it. I mean, I could possibly lower the front pressures a little bit. I could move the brake bias forward 1%. Would they allow that? Would they have allowed that? You can't adjust it in the car, so would they have allowed that in the real series? I don't think they would. I don't know. I'm going to assume that you couldn't. And we're going to have to just race with what we've got. Yeah. I think that's the way to go. Right, okay. Let's go and get the feature race set up. So disappointed that I did that. Because, I mean, the racing is just so good. And you don't see it when I'm at the back of the pack, 16 seconds off the rear of those car. Right, okay. Let's come out of here then. We've got what we need there. So if I did a 55.2, 55.2, 55.2, 55.2, and we're at 55.3, you know, we're there, but I just have to work so hard to maintain it and risk as well. Especially with this car, you cannot afford to take liberties on the brakes. You cannot afford to start that rear, allowing it to move. You have to keep it on the straight and narrow. And I was taking liberties. And it's amazing. You start off thinking, I really need to just keep things focused, keep things straight and narrow. And it doesn't take much for you to lose your concentration, and you find yourself in a situation where you're just pushing too hard. You just, yeah, and that's what happened there. Anyway, so feature race, hour long, starting at 5, everything else the same. Right, let's get into it. Right, hopefully we won't be starting at the front. We'll be starting somewhere middle or something, because it's random. I'd expect it to be certainly not pole again anyway. Ooh, 6th. That's a hand. Oh, look, we've got Traverso and Fittipaldi right next to us as well. Moffat's there in 5th. Richard Petty's got himself a nice starting slot there. That's good. Donohue's been unlucky again, hasn't he? He's at the back, is he? Yeah, second from last. And Stuck in 12th. So we've got the main leaders of the championship all sort of heading towards the front mid-pack. We're all together. Oh dear, this is going to be hefty, isn't it? Right, so we need 63 litres. Let's make it 65. 65. Do you know what? I'm going to move that brake bias forwards, because I don't want to have another race where I end up letting you down because I've done something silly. So let's do that. Let's move it forwards 1%. So we've got medium cloud. It's moist again. Starting at 5. Right, let's get the wets just in case it's going to rain. What can I do about that? Let's drop that down just a couple of clicks. Nothing much. It's a barely noticeable change, I would have thought. But we'll do that. Right, so it's the race setup, but we've got 1% more forwards brake bias and a slightly reduced tyre pressure. Yeah, I think that's fair. Hi Tomo, thanks for joining, mate. If you've missed the sprint race, you didn't miss anything. You just missed me screwing it up again. Right, okay. I can't put this off anymore, can I? I'm just going to have to get on with it. So, let's have a quick swig. Right, okay. I need to put that sprint race behind me, don't I? Stop dwelling on the past and look forwards to the future, Andrew. Okay. Starting 6th. Have to be careful in the first couple of laps with tyre warm-up. Put that in the middle again. So, smooth start so far. thought they were going to bunch up then and slow each other down. I gave that corner a wide. I've let Traverso through. I gave that corner a wide berth. Probably didn't need to. See what I mean? And now they're all coming through. I have to hang this out. Sorry, I'm already there, mate. The thing is that, yes, I could spread the field out, but then there wouldn't really be a field of legends then, would it? And I could run the AI at a lower skill to make myself look amazing, but then I sell you a fake race. I basically just need to do a better job of finishing these races without error. Peter Brock's going for the outside. I think he's going to get it as well. Whoa. What are you doing? So with the medium aggression, that was a lot more commonplace. You get these sudden episodes where they all sort of get in each other's way and slow each other up. It didn't happen anywhere near as much with low aggression. Come on. It's not enough light, that is it? Totally bumping my downshift there into that last corner. I think that's my first warning shot that I'm getting a bit carried away, so try and get myself back again. Oh blimey, the chat's moved a bit. I can't keep up with that. Sorry, I'll have to come back to it later. Sort of a dead end there. It's tempting to go inside, but then you end up on the outside and you get hung out to dry, like Holm is now. It's almost better just to forget about trying to make a move, settle in and follow the path. Oh, that was nice. Stop. Go. But this is going to be one of those races that yo-yos. They're short wins, really. Cheers, Walter. See those little very quick micro corrections from just the rear starting to move. It's so active at the back, but you gotta try and keep it active but stable at the same time. It's so difficult because you can't afford for the tail to wag the dog. There you go, there's my short-lived yeah, that's probably the best way of putting it, is that you cannot afford to let the tail wag the dog with this car. Don't want to end up on the outside. Need to block off roll though. Come on, you three. Alright, Derek, calm down. Great. And let the shuffling commence. An extra bit of throttle just at the end of the braking point there, just to try and get the overlap secured on roll to roll in the white car. It compromised my mid corner though. It's worth it as it turns out though. I'm getting a bit carried away here, aren't I? It feels like it's ramping up. It feels like I'm gonna end up sort of merging into that overdriving zone and getting caught up in someone else. So it only takes these guys to sort of balk each other, and I can't react in time because I'm getting too racy. And we've still got 47 minutes to go, so. I know that puts me on the outside, but that's Oh, there's someone there. Oh, I didn't see Moffat there. Sorry, Moff. I didn't know he was there. I thought, what? I thought it was Roll behind me. But there's me there going wide to then get the cutback, thinking I was safe to do so, and I wasn't. I'm going to let him have that because I think I owe him that, if nothing else. I mean, to be fair, he owns it on his own anyway, but he didn't need any favours from me there really, but I wasn't going to fight him for it because I feel like I was a bit naughty there. Right, it's definitely wrong behind us. I mean, it's good fun. I don't need to be doing this sort of racing now, but it's bloody good fun. And I'm very much slipping into my getting a bit big for my boots, but it's so much fun. And I've had so many races this week where it's been like this. It's just so good. Rocky's getting racy. So Derek Bell's at risk here, isn't he? I'm not sure I really want to get involved in it though, especially after the disaster of the first race. must also be mindful as well that with it being an hour-long race, tyre wear is going to be a factor. So I do really need to think about it. But first things first, I need to make sure I get to the end of the race always pointing in the right direction. Little twitch there spooks me a little bit. Should have gone that side really, but I don't think it would have helped. I think, ooh, easy Richard. I think Rocky would have been my problem if I'd have gone to the left. Easy, 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 easy. Come on. Changed my line a little bit in that last corner and it's working nicer. Oh, come on lads, you're going to let the others catch up again. We've worked out a nice little gap there. Great, now they're back on us again. We've got a nice little buffer there. And we're going to give it all away in 2 corners. Took us 3 laps to build it and we're going to give it away in 2 corners. Oh, Brocky, that was a bit late. Bit tight. Yeah, it's working just a little bit better. Yes, this is AI racing, yes. Whoa, Richard. It's still there. I can't close that off yet. Looks like they're going around the outside. So we can latch onto Brocky now. Okay. Oh, I got a push. I'm getting a push. Derek! Not for the first time either. For the flag, mate, yeah? For the flag. Come on. That's not the first time I've had a push from Derek Bell. I had it in previous races as well. I had it at Kyle Army. I've done it again, gone in too tight. Thought Petty was going to be really slow again. Might be overthinking this a little bit. I guess after the disaster of the first race, I don't want to have another one. Good, good. Oop, come on. A bit too early on the throttle there. A bit too late on the brakes there. Get a good exit here. Too good. I think I got a bit of a push there, but I had closed him off, so I think that's fair enough. So getting away is going to be awkward, very difficult, and probably unlikely. Just to do that, I'm going to have to start driving spiritedly and risking the race, and I'm not prepared to do that today. not after the first race. We need the points, so well, the rear started to go then. We've got a little gap, but they'll close off most of that in this last corner here. They're running side by side, so we may be able to make a break, maybe. But I also don't want to kill my tyres either, so I've got to be a little bit wary. We're only not even quite halfway through the race yet. Put the times up so you can see where people are. I've got a misty eye. They're still, you know, half a second back, that's it. It ain't comfortable. These curb markers, these dots, they work really well. They're really effective. I'd say probably just as effective as a modern day curb. They upset the car enough that you don't want to be on them. But you can also use them if you want to. If you use them a little bit, you can actually upset the rear of the car a little bit and you can help it to turn just a little bit. But you take the mickey and you'll get a kick of oversteer. Wouldn't want to use it in a Formula car, but in a car like this, quite helpful sometimes. They're still right there. We're not getting away. And they're right on us now. Well, we had a few laps of breathing space, didn't we? Stuck, Rock and Fittipaldi all together there. The whole field, from the tip of the nose of my car to the tip of the tail of the last car, is 3.6 seconds. As the tyres wear, you find that you have to be more careful on your braking, trail braking. The car becomes more susceptible to that. The tail wagging the dog gets more susceptible to that. I'm probably being a bit too careful really, but no chances. Sort of drifted back to my old line through there, and I'm paying for it now. Stick's looking quite ominous there, isn't he? It's got a very good front end in the mid corner there. So it's Fittipaldi there now, and then everybody else. Calm yourself down, Andrew. It's strange, it feels like I'm losing the front end a little bit, but actually it's the rear tyres that have worn the most. Cramp in my left foot. Oh, it's all kicking off. Don't need cramp in my left foot now. Not now. Easy. He's going, he's still there. He's still there. Oh, that was tight. And a bit rude, but necessary. They seem to have ramped up a little bit in the last quarter of the race. Just starting. Still, at least I haven't got to worry about the rain and the weather. What we've got is what we've got. Jesus, it was very stressful. It's supposed to be a hobby, it's supposed to be relaxing. What's wrong with me? Come on, front end. This is going to be my trouble now. The front end is not responding. Well, it didn't then. I don't think it was just I didn't weight it properly. It felt like it was just generally lacking. So I think this is going to be the headache we've got to deal with. Give him room. That's weird there. So I was able to pull past Fittipaldi on my outside, but I had Brock storming up to my rear bumper. So I don't think the gearing is wrong. I don't know why, but Fittipaldi wasn't as quick in the straight line there as what Brock was. Or me. It's almost like he lost a little bit of speed because neither me or him had a benefit of a toe, even a side draft really. I don't think so. Yeah, obviously Brock had the benefit of a toe, but I don't know why Fittipaldi was down on speed there. He's gone around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? No. We'll close that off. But we've got Brock on our outside as well. The trouble is, if you defend like this, you're going to again not getting pushed off. If you defend like this too much, you'll get a little nudge at the wrong moment. Nice of Brock to back out of that one. Yeah, so now Emo's normal speed again. So I don't think the gearing's wrong. I think the gearing's right. I think there's something a bit odd going on there. Maybe I squeezed them a little bit. Maybe I pushed them over towards the grass a little bit. Don't know. Being a little bit cheeky with our defences. It's good placement, it's working well, but in the real world I think you'd be pushing the limits of people's patience, I think. Come on. Front end didn't bite there over the crest. It got light and never regained grip. Temperature's dropped a lot. It starts off at 34 track temperature, now it's 28. Come on. That was nice. That was nice. That worked out well, actually. It felt like it was going wrong, and then everything come together. Why don't they make tracks like this anymore? This is so much better than the modern day version of this circuit. I know why they had to change it, but it's just so nice to drive. The undulations, the things you have to think about when the car gets light over the crest and compresses as well on the entry, on the exit of some corners. It's just such a lovely circuit. But no, we get Tilka circuits instead these days. So, well, the computer said that's how it's got to be, so that's what we've done. Whereas in the old days it was, well, the landscape says this is where we've got to go, so this is where we're going to go. Right, focus, Andrew. This corner here is just amazing. Look at that. The feeling you get with the rears gripped up. You got a bit of banking, You got the exit where it compresses in. Oh, it's just amazing. This corner's got a bit of banking as well, just when you need it most. This one gets light over the crest, just there. It's just awesome. I'm still wary of Stuck here. Of all the cars I've seen, his car looks like it's got the best tyre condition of the lot, to me. But strangely, in the AI file, Brocky should be better at tyre management than Stuck, because Stuck is largely sprint races and like touring cars based. And Brocky is, although touring car based, he's sort of Bathurst and got those skills really honed in on tyre management and car management as well, because he was doing Bathurst back in the days when cars failed a lot and brakes weren't very good. So he's really good at managing the car. Of the cars I've seen, Stuck's car looks like it's got a really good front end on it. He's there, isn't he? Might have to let this one go. No. Come on. Right, I'm going to have to shut up here, aren't I? Just stop talking. Stop talking. No. To roll on my outside now. They're very friendly. If they're on the inside there, they're very friendly. Alright, we've got one more lap after this. Get up there. saved the best till last, have you? Make sure I give him room. Easy on the rear there. Ah, top and tail, both of them, each side. Don't want to be here. I haven't got the front end to fight back. Played a blinder. I lose it to Brocky as well. Going to be third. Bollocks. Oh. Man. I hope you enjoyed that. On the plus, at least the cramp has gone away. Sod it. All right. What a brilliant race, though. What a brilliant race. Right, okay, so let's get these results sorted. Oh. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, I mean, literally, yeah. Again, I'm sorry about the first race. That was how the first race was likely going to finish as well. Yeah, just fantastic racing. I'm going to be sorry to be leaving Spielberg, because the racing has just been absolutely fantastic. Okay, right, I'll leave you with that for the moment, and then I shall get the results populated. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, because I certainly did. Right. Hans-Joachim Stuck. I told you he had a really, really good front end on that car. I knew it was going to be a problem. Rocky was second. I was third. Walter Roll was fourth. And he was right there at the end as well. He was really mixing it up in the last lap. Mo was fifth, so he got 2 points. And Derek Bell was sixth. The old endurance man got sixth. Right, okay. Right, let's give that a little pause. Get to the results. So, no, one sec. Helps if I sort largest to smallest. There we go. Oh man. Right. I'm going to pay for that first. Look at Stuck's Spielberg was, look at that. He got a second and a first. He had a cracking event, didn't he? So, right. Hans-Joachim Stuck is now leading by 4 points over myself, who's got a 2-point advantage on Emerson Fittipaldi. Juan Maria Traverso is a bit further back in fourth. Walter Roll, Alan Moffat, Derek Bell, Peter Brock, Mario Andretti, Barry Sheen, Graham Hill, Henri Pescarello, Jackie Stewart, Jackie Hicks, Denny Holm, Mark Donoghue is the last of the scorers. Still AJ Foyt and Richard Petty to get off the blocks. And Donoghue still only got those 2 points. He didn't have a good. Where did he finish in that? He was in 10th, was he? Donoghue was 10th in that race. He's had a real shocker. So yeah, that's where we are. We leave Spielberg having lost the lead. We're now heading into the Nordschleife. So that's going to be quite a contest, I think, there. Yeah. Right. Okay. So let's get that playing again. Let's see what we got now. So did it go to plan? First race, no. Again, so annoying. I need to figure this out. I need to get this sorted out because it's costing me. Yeah, but that's the trouble. Is that when you're pushed and you're at the limit of your driving ability, you make mistakes, and that's what you're seeing basically. And I refuse to knock the AI back and make it easy on me just to make myself look a bit better to you guys, because that doesn't really give you what you've come here for. You've come here to see someone have a proper race, and I think from that second race there, I think you got your money's worth, didn't you? And that's what we're here for. We're here to lay ourselves bare, and basically go racing. You know, let's go racing, and we're up against like cream of the crop in terms of the AI file. I mean, yeah, right, yes, they got their names, but they're not really those people. But in the AI file, they are all like, you know, like their race skill is between 1 and 0.88. They're all really, really bunched up. And then they've got other qualities that will bring them into play depending on conditions or the race length, or you know how many mistakes they're going to make and that sort of stuff. You know, under pressure, and so that's where they have their differences. And you saw that in the field spread. You know, the entire field from first to last was 3.4 seconds, which is why if I have a mistake and I end up off the circuit, it's the end of the race, because you're not going to get points once you've done that. And it's why I wanted to stream it as well, because then that lays me bare and it's warts and all. I can't hide it. I can't just go and give you the good races, because that makes me look the best. Because that's not what this is about. This is about showing you raw racing, and I think I'm delivering it. I'm trying to, at least, anyway, as best as I can. So what went well? Well, the second race went awesome. The changes to the car felt very nice. Now, whether that was because of the time of day change and there may be slightly different conditions, I don't know, but the car felt generally better in the second race. That's a cool shot on it. So it's the whole car just felt a bit more stable. The increase of front brake bias helped, definitely helped. That made it much more sure-footed. I will maintain that for the next races, because the car preferred it. It's much less on a knife edge, and I think if you were to have a championship like this, I think you would want the car to be on that side of stable. I think you would want it to be on the stable side. So you wouldn't build in an instability on purpose, I don't think. So the instability is there on the downshift. If you don't blip enough, you're off. So you wouldn't. But when I did my mistake in the first race, it wasn't the downshift that had me over. It was the brake bias and then turning at the same time, and it just started, the rear just started to swing a little bit, and then that was it. It had gone too far. I'd taken my liberties. The car said, "Enough's enough, mate. Get out." So the changes in the second race worked a treat and were really, really good. I wouldn't change anything. The end of the race there, we suffered with our tyre condition, I think, maybe a little bit. Or certainly the others around us did a better job of maintaining their tyres. But again, we had this at Kyalami. These are all pros, these are all legends, these are all the best of their era, and they didn't get there by not knowing how to manage their tyres. Now, in this in this scenario, I'm a lucky winner of a prize for winning a lower tier class to come and join these legends in this series. You wouldn't expect me to be able to manage my tyres anywhere near to the level that these guys are. So I think it's right that that's how it is. I think it's good that come the end of the race, I'm suffering more than they are. I think that's how it should be, and I quite like it. So I'm going to keep it going. I'm not going to knock their figures back. I'm going to keep it where it is because I think it sort of reflects what reality would be. Were there any incidents? Only my spin. There was a couple of moments where I got a little push, but again, it's racing. You expect it. You know, I'd be disappointed if I didn't get any contact from anyone in that race. So Derek Bell gave me a little. It wasn't even a nudge. It was just a little gentle push, and it was just enough just to move the car out. So yeah, it was really good. The racing was fantastic. The way that it races on the low aggressiveness, I thought worked really, really well. It felt realistic. So yeah, really, really pleased. Right, let's have a little catch up with the chat because it moved a little bit. So we've got Tomo. You balls up the Opalas, did you, mate? Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I had a fantastic time here, and I wouldn't change the first race because it was my mistake, and mistakes happen, and it's what I wanted to push myself to this point where mistakes were likely. It's a bit embarrassing that it's happened 3 events on the trot, but so in that respect, Kyle Army, Spa and Spielberg, they're all cursed for me at the moment. Maybe it's just my right foot that's cursed, I'm not sure. But bad luck, mate, that's a shame. Necrodogs, woof woof, yeah, the dogs are still vocal, yeah, and everyone's doing great, mate, thanks very much. I'm glad you're enjoying yeah, so it being streamed is one of the things, it's important, I think, just to give it that warts and all feel, that if I make a mistake, you will see it, there's no hiding it, you don't just get the good stuff, you get everything, good or bad, and it's a bit embarrassing when you're running around 16 seconds off the back of the pack because you've made a mistake, but, you know, it is what it is, you know, you can't change it after you've done it, so it is what it is. Anyway, right, okay, so what's up next? So next up is the Nordschleife, the old 1970s Nordschleife. So that's going to be tricky. It's going to be quite an awkward week of practice. I know the layout, I know the circuit well. I don't know the historic one very well, but I know the modern one quite well. Not as well as some people do, but I know it well enough to hold my own. We'll see how it goes. When I did a couple of test races with these cars there, I had to knock the AI back massively. They're super fast in the first sort of third half of the lap or so. So expect to see an AI strength possibly even under 100. It's massively overpowered there. I think here was about right. It was 112 here today, and I think it was pushing my limit, and I think that's how it should be. There should be like 10, I would say, beyond where I'm comfortable, where the real aliens would be comfortable, sort of like 116, 118, and even then they would struggle at 120. I think where I'm 112, 110 sort of area, I think that's about where the balance of the AI needs to be for Razor. That seems to work sensibly for me. But yeah, the Nürburgring, it's just way overpowered. So but you'll see that next week, I reckon, unless they do a sneaky update on it. I think you're going to see what I mean next week. Right, anyway, right, that just leaves me to say thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, thanks for those that joined me tonight. Yeah, I will see you next time, see you next week at the Nordschleife. See you later.